There was an image that was leaked on the internet, right, of Steve Jobs, one of his first job applications coming out of college. This was handwritten. I know you guys can't see it on the audio, but we'll put it up on the video. You guys are always welcome to come check out the videos. They air a day after the actual audio comes out, but it was handwritten on a piece of paper, a job application. I think Steve Jobs was ranked one of the richest people in the world, right?
Yeah, at one point.
1973, he comes out of college and he hand writes this application. And I started thinking, I'm like, what is this? Who's handwriting a job application? And then the date shows 1973. And I was like, well, what computers were around in 1973? I guess he had to come around and start creating computers too, right?
Well, this could have been a typewriter too.
Could have been. I had a typewriter growing up. I thought it was badass.
I had a typewriter. It's funny because I'm just looking at this thing and it says driver's license ? Yes. Yeah, 1973. Position desired. Blank. Birth date 1955, February something. Steve Jobs. It has an address. It said something college. Phone number none. Manger. Oh, way on a manger. Major was English. Past employment blank. Previous blank. Reason for leaving blank. Everything blank blank. Skills type blank. Machines, computer, yes. Calculator, yes. And it says designed in parentheses. And then it just says special interest. It's kind of hard to read it, but something about digital is what I read. But I thought it was funny. It says, what? Access to transportation possible, but not preferable? Okay.
Can you imagine if you could write a resume that just said yes or no to these possible things?
It's like access to transportation. Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Pay me, I move. I don't know.
So this is going for, well, the last time it sold, it went for $175,000.
Yep.
Which is crazy. So we'll see how much this thing's going to end up in. It's just, if you have money to throw away on crap like this, why?
What is with this last year? Like, we're talking about people in a lockdown, finances are a little questionable, but over the last year, we've seen things sell for some astronomical prices. We've seen the world's most expensive game being sold and then it being topped a few months later. We've seen shoes. We've seen now this for $175. Like, people are like, we're just sitting at home. We're going to spend all our money on memorabilia. Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. It's a trend. It's trending in 2020, 2021. I don't get it. I mean, I think it's cool and all to have certain things, but I guess if you get to a certain point and you don't have any expenses anymore, and you want to remember certain things, or if you think it's some kind of investment, you think, like, how do you even value something like this? How do you look at this piece of paper and be like, you know what? I think this is going to be worth $1 million 1 year. Who makes up these values?
Well, if it's an auction, people are just outbidding each other. Like, the highest bidder is going to win no matter what. So if I'm like, hey, I just found, or okay, I'll do this. Check this out. So for Christmas, Next Level got me a Michael Jordan card. I know it's kind of hard to see it, but Michael Jordan card. This is a 1990 Flair Michael Jordan number 26 mint 9. And this they had a couple of these cards out there, and he was able to get me one of those, which is pretty badass. So thank you. And here's the thing. Let's just say every single person with this card, and by the way, it is in a plastic case, a hard plastic, and then it's a soft plastic around it to cover the hard plastic. But let's just say everywhere in the world, whoever has one of these lost it somehow, or it got damaged or whatever. And I have the last card ever, right? if I said, hey, I'm going to put this for auction, people are just going to start going like, oh my gosh, Michael Jordan, the greatest player that ever played the game.
Mhm.
They're going to start bidding. Like fanboys are going to start bidding on stuff like this. And what's going to happen is once they get to a certain bid where nobody has enough money now to buy it,
Mhm.
highest bidder wins. Now wait another, I don't know, 5-10 years, do the same thing. And the price is just gonna go up. People who for the Steve Jobs thing, it has to be like some sort of fanboys or people who are like, ooh, this is pretty neat. 175,000. It's somebody that of course has some stupid money just to throw away, but it's, I don't know. I guess it's part of history because he created something.
And his
So
company is now worth over $2 trillion, I think, too, right?
yeah, and here's the thing: why doesn't Apple not own that?
That should be on their wall somewhere. I think, yeah. So maybe that's the play. Maybe they buy it for $175,000 and they sell it to Apple for 500 or $1 million.
$1 million.
$1 million. Maybe that's the play.
I don't know. Maybe.
But for myself, let's be real. I have trouble with memorabilia because it's like me buying a chocolate bar and not eating it. Like, what? Am I just going to leave the chocolate bar in this wrapper and just stare at it all day?
So when we were kids, we were huge on Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And my two other cousins, so they call us the Three Amigos. We were all born in 81. I was in May. My cousin Rich in June, and then my cousin Will in September. We were just months apart from each other, and we were like inseparable. Like growing up, we were just inseparable. So they called us the Three Amigos. My cousin Will, the youngest one out of us three, would constantly get. If you guys know what KB store is, KB stores, they used to exist back then. I don't think they exist anymore. He used to go there for his birthday every year. He was very stingy, like his dad, my uncle, with money. And he would go and buy the Ninja Turtle figurines. And he, like, okay, remember back then with the Ninja Turtle movies?
Yeah.
He bought every single type of Ninja Turtle that you can think of. Like Pizza Man Ninja Turtle, Samurai Ninja Turtle, like going to the beach Ninja Turtle.
I had
like
the ones you wound up and they swam in the water.
Yeah, dude, like all of them. He has every single one of them. He even had Shredder. He had the brain. He had the like the dome. Like he had everything. And me and my cousin Rich were like, dude, like, why are you gonna open this up and play with it? Like we knew back then, one day this is gonna be worth stuff, and you have the complete set. He wasn't missing anything. So it's almost like you with your chocolate, like, hey, am I going to get a chocolate and not be able to eat it? Well, he was like, I'm going to play with my toys. I'm not going to leave it in its box. He would grab, as soon as he got his Ninja Turtles, he would play with them. He had boxes upon boxes upon boxes of Ninja Turtles with all the accessories and everything. He got to the point, I think, when he was like maybe in his early 20s when he stopped playing with his turtles. And he started putting them up for display. And at that point was when a light bulb went off and said, wait a minute, why did I open this stuff up? So he started collecting like old school, like Twilight Zone figurines, Freddy Krueger, Jason, like all those murderer characters.
Yeah.
He would get the figurines in its cases, and he would hang the whole case with the thing on the wall. He had like I would say, like, out of the 4 walls in his room, 3 of them were full of that. And then the other one was just full of shelves with all the turtles and DVDs. Like, and then he still had boxes and boxes of stuff. Yeah. But if you were to go to his place now and be like, hey, dude, where's your turtles? He's got them. But it's one of those things that is just like, oh, if you just still had them in your case, bro,
Mhm.
complete collection.
It's crazy. It's almost like we have to have that mindset growing up, because I look at things like Pokemon cards, right? And my son used to collect them when he was a kid, and I had a couple when I was growing up too, but I used to, collect them to sell them. But he used to just collect them because he liked Pokemon. And then when he lost interest, we actually took all of his cards and we taped them to his wall, and it covered the whole wall of his room. But then after the fact, you're like, some of these cards are actually worth a lot of money, and we just tape them all to a wall. You know what I mean?
I did we had an episode, if you remember, with I Just Watched, and towards the end of it, I was showing my cousin the comic books and he was like, "Holy crap."
Yeah.
Um I had a couple of those comic books that I was collecting since I was young, and I knew I think I was in junior high when I really started to get really into it. The cards also junior high. I knew back then, I'm just like, I don't want to have them out. I want to save them.
Uh-huh.
And I had that mindset in junior high. I was just like, no, some of these cards are going to be worth. And I have them now, and people are like, holy crap, you still got that? I'm like, I sure do. You know?